Who is your local celebrity crush? Sinong crush mong artista?
Hi.
Hello!
What's up at welcome sa Pocho Clock. Sa channel nito, mahilig akong sumuri ng mga relo ng mga kilalang personalidad at magbigay sa inyo ng masabot kayang alternatibo. Mapa presidente o vice-presidente, mainit na naman po ang usapan ngayon patungkol sa impeachment. Kaya naman sa video nito, minabuti ko na sumuri ng mga sample ng mga relo ng mga nagpapa-impeach kay President Bongbong Marcos. Una dyan, Chavit Singson. Pangalawa, Attorney Ferdinand Topacio. Pangatlo, Mike Defensor. Pang-apat, Cathy Binyag. At panglima, Harold Respicio. Bago po tayo magsimula, ipa-plug ko lang. Kung gusto niyo pong gawan ko ng reaction video ang inyong mga relo o koleksyon ng mga relo, magpadala po kayo ng mga photos ng inyong mga relo o koleksyon ng mga relo sa pochoclock2025@gmail.com. Hindi na akong papaligoy-ligoy pa. Tara na! Dito muna tayo sa relo ni Chavit Singson. Ang kailangan po nating tingnan muna dito, the case and bracelet na parang gold sila. Let's look at the bezel. I think it's laden with gems, most likely diamonds, mostly white pero merong black accents na I think gemstones din yung mga kulay itim na yan. And if we look at the dial, it's color black. At dahil sa mga katangyan yan, tingin ko this is a Rolex GMT Master 2, reference 116758. SANR. So yung SANR po dito, they stand for sapphires and noir. So ibig sabihin, black sapphires. And that's sort of referencing to the black sapphires that are on the bezel. Yung sinasabi ko kanina na parang accent. So this watch, I've featured in a video before na tingin ko suot ni former Senator Manny Pacquiao. And in comparison to some of Manny Pacquiao's watches na medyo blingy. Ito, it's quite blingy as well, but it's not super blingy. So I still like how classy this watch looks. And just observing it, medyo fan ako kasi gustong-gusto ko talaga ang GMT functionality, as I normally say on this channel. So ang relo na ito, I see it sell on the secondary market for up to 14.8 million yen in Philippine pesos. Yan ay nasa mga 5.8, 5.9 million pesos. Doon naman po tayo sa alternatives. Ang napili ko naman ay isang Timex, the Q Timex Seconde. So kaya ako to napili because of the gold tone case and the bracelet, the ability to track more than one time zone because of the rotating 12-hour bezel. And in terms of the concessions naman, let's look at it visually first. So basics muna tayo. We look at the color of the dial. Kulay gold yan dito. Tapos there are no gems. And if you look at the center of the hands, makita nyo yung letter L. So ang relo kasi nito, it's quite a fun watch. Looking at its description on the Timex website, it's actually referencing to your ex na tinatawag niyang loser. And I think this is just a quirky watch overall. And so you're losing a lot of the class that is present in the 116758 SANR. So ang relo na ito, aside from those concessions or differences, other concessions include the finishing, the materials, which here is stainless steel instead of the gold in the Rolex. Tas yung movement nito is quartz rather than the automatic mechanical movement that you can find in the Rolex. But still, I think this is a fun watch. And looking at its price, this watch retails for 17,795 pesos. Pero ngayon, naka-discount yan. For example, ang bentahan yan, 12,455 pesos sa website ng Timex. So I think this is just a good-looking watch if you're looking for something that's fun, medyo good, medyo kukuha niya yung look. I think this is a good way to go. And with Timex, I think it's really hard to go wrong with Timex. And sinasabi ko nga before, in a lot of my videos, medyo may personal bias ako towards the brand because it's the brand of the first watch that was gifted to me by my parents. Dito naman sa relo ni Attorney Topacio, ang kailangan nating tingnan dito, the oyster styled case and bracelet. So, yung bracelet niya, 3-piece links. Tapos, tingnan natin yung crystal nito. Medyo distinctive siya kasi it has this green hue na parang may illusion na kulay green siya. And if we look at the indices of this watch, parang iba-iba yung kulay ng indices niya. And then, we look at the second hand na parang kulay orange and the dial is colored black. At dahil sa mga katangian natin, this is our Rolex Milgauss, reference 116400 GV. So, the Milgauss watch, it's a watch that was originally made for scientists. So, yung Milgauss na pangalan, let's break that down. So, the mil stands for 1,000 and the Gauss is a measure of the strength or intensity of magnetic fields. So, the name Milgauss means that this watch can stand up to 1,000 Gauss. So, it's anti-magnetic up to 1,000 Gauss. Ngayon, ang unique na features ng relo na ito, especially visually, so yung green sapphire crystal niya, kaya dun sa photo ni Attorney Topacio, there's a sort of a green hue there when it comes to the crystal. Tas, pag tinignan nyo yung indices niya, at the 3, 6, and 9 positions, parang yellowish yung dating niya, as opposed to the white indices on the majority of the markers. Tapos, aside from that, there's a very distinctive second hand here na hugis kidlat and it's colored orange. So, this watch is already discontinued. Actually, medyo na-dismaya ako nung na-discontinue ang relo na ito. It's actually one of my target watches from Rolex because of the simplicity. But having tried one in person, I just thought the 40mm diameter was too big, especially nung time na yon. I was already into classical sizing, so it was just a bit too big for me. And yun nga, discontinued na ang relo na ito, but I still see it sell on the secondary market for up to 700,000 pesos. So, kung idol nyo si Attorney Topacio, and I don't see why hindi nyo magiging idol si Attorney Topacio, ang alternative na napili ko para sa inyo ay ang Seiko SRPK 89K1. So, kaya ko po napili ang relo na ito because of the black dial and the orange second hand. And the color of the indices, parang medyo patinad siya or parang aged siya. So it's sort of in the middle of the yellow and the white indices that you can find in the Milgauss. So in terms of the concessions naman, una, visually, the size of this watch, its diameter is 37mm. So that's a full 3mm smaller than the diameter of the Milgauss. Aside from that, its crystal is not green, tapos it's got this simple look to it na you may or may not like, especially when comparing it to the Milgauss. Kasi ako personally, yung distinctive characteristics talaga ng Milgauss, yung nagpagusto sa akin sa relo na yon. And so you're losing a lot of that in this Seiko. So even if I'm a fan of this Seiko, the visual cues are not quite there. Aside from that, standard concessions like the finishing, which will be quite far off from the Milgauss. Tas the materials here, 904L stainless steel ang gamit ng Milgauss, where here I think it's 316L steel. Tapos the movement of the watch, it's also automatic mechanical, but it's a mass-produced movement. While the Rolex's movement is also mass-produced, it's not quite at the scale of this Seiko. Anyway, in terms of the SRP, this watch retails for 21,850 pesos. And that's quite a distance from the Rolex. You're getting a lot of that look, especially yung orange second hand. So I think this is a good option for you, and with this kind of look from Seiko, it's quite timeless. So I think this would be a good choice, especially kung mas trip nyo yung mas simple na itsura. Dito naman kay Mike Defensor, ang kailangan nating tingnan muna yung gold bezel, tapos pag tinignan nyo yung crown ng relo, kulay gold din yan. We look at the bracelet. It's also two-toned and it's an oyster bracelet with 3-piece links with the center piece of the link. Ang kulay niyan, yellow gold. Tapos pag tinignan nyo yung dial niya, there's a visible marker at the 9 o'clock position na parang bar siya. And it contrasts very strongly against the black dial. At dahil sa mga katangian yan, tingin ko this is a Rolex Datejust 2, reference 116333. So the Rolex Datejust 2 was originally launched in 2009 as a sort of an attempt to upgrade or modernize the Datejust at that time. So the biggest size of the Datejust up to that point was, if I'm not mistaken, 36 millimeters, which is my preferred sizing of the Datejust, in fact. And I think that attempt sort of failed, and eventually, if I'm not mistaken, in 2016, parang napalitan na ng Datejust 41 yung Datejust 2. I think there were some design decisions on the Datejust 2 that did not work, and so they discontinued it and they sort of transitioned into the Datejust 41. And even today, that sort of holds up. You have the Datejust 41 and you have the Datejust 36. So this watch, when you look at the dial of this watch, kaya ko to na sabi na baka ito yung dial niya, it's because of that marker at the 9 o'clock position na pag tinignan nyo yung picture ni Mike Defensor dito, it seems quite obvious, the 9 o'clock marker, and it seems like there's a black dial. So this dial is sort of a darker play on the Wimbledon dial as we know it, with the slate gray dial, the black Roman numerals with the green outlines. Dito it's a bit darker, but at the same time warmer when it comes to the tone of the dial. So ang relo na ito, it's already been discontinued, but I still see it sell on the secondary market for up to 12,500 British pounds. Pag kinonvert nyo sa Philippine pesos, yan ay nasa mga 1.05 million pesos. So when it comes to the alternative of the Datejust 2, I've selected the Tissot Balade in 40 millimeters with the quartz movement. I think it's pretty standard at this point, me recommending the Tissot Balade, but it's the same reasons as in my prior videos. The two-tone bracelet, the rose gold tone bezel, and in terms of the concessions, the finishing, the materials, and the movement. And the dial here is still pretty dark, but it's blue rather than the black we see on the watch that I think Mike Defensor is wearing. Ang relo na ito, it retails for 26,700 pesos. And Tissot recently updated the Balade line of watches. It comes now in more sizes, more colors, and more tones, if I'm not mistaken. And so if you prefer automatic, there's an automatic option for you as well. But overall, I think the Tissot Balade is just a great choice, and it's coming from Tissot, which is a great brand in and of itself, established in 1853. It's part of the Swatch Group, so you can really trust that this watch will last you quite a long while. Dito naman kay Cathy Binyag, ang kailangan nating tingnan, the gold case and the bracelet, the squarish case, and if you look at the bezel, which is also square, it flows quite well into the bracelet of the watch. At dahil sa mga katangin natin, this is a Cartier Santos in medium in the full yellow gold case. So ang relo na ito, it measures 35 millimeters across, and as I've mentioned in previous videos, it's the descendant of the very first pilot's watch that was used by Alberto Santos Dumont, and that was a watch that he requested from Louis Cartier. So this watch, I'm really a fan of it, except I'm not a big fan of the full yellow gold case and bracelet. I love the steel version so much more, and that's probably my favorite model from Cartier due to its flexibility. But just speaking of that flexibility, pag yellow gold kasi yung case and bracelet, I think it loses a lot of that flexibility when it comes to day-to-day wear. So ang relo na ito, it retails for very close to 2.5 million pesos, but on the secondary market dito sa Pilipinas, I see it sell for up to 2 million pesos. Ngayon, pagdating naman sa alternative, ang napili kong alternative ay ang Timex Legacy Square, and it's quite fortunate kasi naging in stock na ang relo na ito when I was making this video. So it's actually available now, but it's very limited in terms of the stock, and I think medyo madaling maubos ang relo na ito. And I think that speaks to the overall design language of this watch. So kaya ko to napili because of the case shape, the gold tone case and the bracelet, the Roman numerals, the white dial. Concession wise, standard finishing materials, movement, and so yung finishing niya kasi definitely rough around the edges. The materials here is stainless steel tas coated para maging yellow gold. Tas movement nito is quartz. But you don't really notice that kasi there's no second hand sa relo na ito. So it's difficult to notice just with one look that this is a watch with a quartz movement. And aside from that, the size of this watch, it's around 2/3 of the diameter of the Cartier Santos in medium. And so that makes this, truly a lady's watch rather than a sort of a unisex watch that I think the Cartier Santos in medium is. With those concessions in mind, you're not going to mind them so much when you look at the price of this watch. This watch retails just a hair lower than 10,000 pesos, and it's frequently on sale. So if you're a fan of this look, hindi kayo magkakamali sa Timex na ito. This kind of Cartier design language is present in just a few watch brands at this price point that you can actually rely on. There are a lot of micro brands that try to imitate this style, but they come off overpriced. With this Timex, even if it's a bit on the nose when it comes to its inspiration, it's a good value for money. Dito naman sa relo ni Harry Respicio, ang kailangan nating tingnan, the round case. And if you look at the 3 o'clock position where the crown should be, there is a crown there, but there's a unique crown protector there. And you look at the dial, it's color white, tapos may texture yung gitna ng dial. Pag tiningnan nyo yung ginamit niyang indicators for the hours, they are Roman numerals, and there's a strap on this watch. At dahil sa mga katangin yan, tingin ko this a Cartier Ballon Bleu in 36 millimeters with the black strap. So the Ballon Bleu literally means blue balloon. It's the French word for blue balloon, and that sort of is really talking about the crown and how it's being protected by this unique crown protector. And I think this is a unique look. It's got that integrated bracelet style, as you'll see how the case of the watch attaches to the strap. Ang relo na ito, it retails for 398,000 pesos. And just one thing about this version of the Ballon Bleu, I don't see it at this time lang naman sa secondary market dito sa Pilipinas. I do see it on other websites, international websites, selling for less than retail, but you would have to pay additional shipping, taxes, and duties. And that will probably bring you quite close to the SRP of this watch dito sa Pilipinas. That's why I think the 398,000 pesos is a reasonable amount to consider when you're going to buy this watch and seriously consider it. So ang alternative naman na napili ko ay ang Casio MTP RS105L7BV. Kaya ako napili because of the white dial and the connection of the case to the strap. It's got this integrated look. And in terms of the concession, syempre the finishing will not be the same, the materials will not be the same, the movement here is quartz, and it's when you look at this watch, the use cases of these watches, they're quite different. The Ballon Bleu is something you would probably use for formal events. Siguro minsan gagamitin mo casually, but when you look at the Casio, it's just built more for casual use, just in my opinion. And that's really down to the choice of the numerals, the threading on the strap that is a different color from the strap itself. And so I think this is just more casual instead of formal. That formality is something you see in the Ballon Bleu. Nevertheless, with the white dial and the way that the case attaches to the strap and vice versa, I think this is a good alternative. And when you look at the retail price of this watch, so 7,210 pesos sa website ng Casio Philippines, then you start to look at these two, and from afar they're going to look quite similar. If you really push for it, you can make the Casio work in a formal setting. And that price difference suddenly, makes you think this would be a good alternative to the Balon Blue. Lalo na kung loading nyo to si Harry. Ayun! Nakita na tayo ng mga sample ng mga relo ng mga nagpapa-impeach kay PBBM. At sa lahat po ng mga relo na tiningnan natin sa video nito, ang pinakapaborito ko dyan, yung Rolex Milgauss. I think the Rolex Milgauss, at some point in my watch collecting journey, I wanted to have it. But sabi ko nga kanina, upon trying it on, I just thought that it was just a bit too big. I really like how different it is from other Rolex models. It's got its own personality with its unique characteristics. At doon naman po tayo sa alternatives. Ang pinakapaborito ko naman doon, yung Timex Legacy Square. I'm really a fan of the design of the Santos de Cartier. And kung hindi all gold or pure gold yung case and bracelet ng Cartier Santos Medium na nasa listahan na ito, malamang yan ang pipiliin kong paborito. Pero sa alternatives, paborito ko yung Timex Legacy Square kasi you get so much of that look for a fraction of the price. Pero opinion ko lang po yan. Kung iba pong inyong opinion, kung tingin nyo meron pang ibang relo na masangkop bilang alternative, let me know in the comment section down below. Kung nagustuhan nyo ang video na ito, please hit the like button. At kung trip nyo yung ganitong klaseng content, watch reviews, pagsuri sa mga relo ng mga kilalang personalidad, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat sa oras ng panonood. Laters, yo!